Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Ryan and Robert Rants. We're back at you again with another trailer reaction and review. Robert, which one are we going to be doing today?
We are going to be doing Black Phone 2, starring Ethan Hawke and returning director Scott Derrickson.
Scott Derrickson is back.
Yeah.
It's crazy seeing what he's doing now, considering he never came back for the Doctor Strange sequel,
Yeah, but I
which
think he's returning back to his kind of like his passion,
which is
if that makes sense. Which
original
is
content.
yeah, like horror type stuff too. Because I know he wanted to turn Doctor Strange to more of a horror based, like supernatural type thing. And we still kind of got that, so I'm kind of curious where the split was between him and the studio.
I bet you anything it was the addition of the multiverse.
Probably.
Anything. It was
Yeah.
that. And he
I know
probably wanted to
the
just make it like just stick with Doctor Strange and his
yeah, I think
adventure instead of shoehorning in everything else.
yeah, which probably would have been better for it. I know he wanted to include the villain Nightmare, but we got Scarlet Witch instead.
Yeah, like weird backpedal. But
Yeah.
one day we will talk about that because there is a very long conversation to be had on that. But yes,
Yes.
just a little disclaimer. I have still yet to see the first Black Phone, and it's been years. I honestly didn't know about the movie Black Phone until I had saw a poster, and then all of a sudden the movie was out. Like there was almost no marketing for that
No.
movie, but almost every single person that I've talked to that has seen the movie tells me how great it is, and
Yeah.
that the ending or part of it towards the end is really sad. That's all I've heard. The gist that I have from the movie because I've stayed away from the trailer. I still haven't seen a trailer for the first one. I'm about to watch the trailer for this one for the first time. So,
Yep.
um, before we had started recording, I know you said you're gonna warn me and let me know. Okay, this is probably gonna spoil the first one, or
Yeah.
this will
We'll see.
affect it. So I'm going in blind. No idea. I just know, like you said, Ethan Hawke is in here. Scott Derrickson's returning. I'm queued up. This is a 2 minute 15-second trailer from Universal, so let's see how much they give away. But I'm
Yep.
queued up and ready to go if you are.
I am ready.
Awesome. Oh, and yes, a disclaimer as always, we will not be posting the actual trailer in this reaction, but we will post a link to the trailer in the description. That way you can check it out. And then, like I said, go ahead and watch our review for it, see what you agree. And we'll talk more afterwards about that. But yes, I'm ready to roll. You are.
Ready.
Counting down three, two, one, go.
Payphone.
I already love how this looks.
Yep.
Already with the slow motion song in the background.
Oh
Look janky.
nah, this is Scott Derrickson at his best right here. Jesus.
Oh wow.
Completely sold.
All right.
100% sold.
October 17th, just in time for Halloween.
That was a good one.
Hmm. That was a pretty good trailer. I mean, like you
Yeah.
said, Scott Derrickson doing Scott Derrickson. Scott
Yeah.
Derrickson production.
Scott
Yeah.
Derrickson doesn't do what Scott Derrickson does.
For Scott Derrickson. Scott Derrickson does what Scott Derrickson does because Scott Derrickson is Scott Derrickson.
Scott Derrickson. Yeah, off
His
camera we were
name
having
is
a whole South Park
Scott
thing.
Derrickson.
We are having a whole South Park conversation off screen, so
Yeah.
feel
We
like
still
we
got
should
South
throw that
Park
in
on the
there.
brain.
Yep.
It doesn't help that we're also very tired too, so it just makes
Yeah.
us more entertaining.
But I feel like it makes it honest enough, more honest enough. Not that it's not like normally, but
Compared to
there's
other
yeah,
creators
yeah,
out there and
there's
other
no like
channels.
there's for sure no filter
Yeah.
in terms of opinions.
Yeah. And speaking of, I mean, you said you're sold on this right
Sold.
away. So what do you give this out of 10?
Man, I'd probably give it like an 8 out of 10. Like everything, like it didn't even show. I don't think it even showed a whole lot, but I mean, it just opens up with that beautiful setting. I mean, it's like a desolate, in the wintertime, all the snow, whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it takes, if I remember right, the first one did take place in the 90s. Um, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure it was the 90s. And I think this is like almost a direct sequel, if that's the same kid. I mean, it's been a couple years, and you know how fast kids like kids just sprout.
Yeah.
So
The Stranger
yeah,
Things cast.
you're right. Um, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one.
Just based off of it without seeing the first one. So did it spoil anything for me? I guess one major thing, but
Maybe, yeah, kind of.
okay.
But
I'm still
other than that,
interested in seeing the movie though. Like it's
yeah,
still
yeah.
like I will try my best to watch the first one this weekend.
At least you got
Um
time before this movie comes out,
oh yeah. Oh no no,
so there's
that'll
no
be
rush
done.
there.
Yeah, that'll be done way before this one. I'm gonna give it see, I'm biased because again, I like Scott Derrickson.
Yep.
So I want to give it a 7, but because Scott Derrickson, I'll give it a 7.5 because I do like
Okay.
the tone, but like I said, I can't give it an 8 because it did the whole rooster slow motion thing trope. So it's like, come on, be better than that. Super sinister vibes. And I don't
Oh
mean
yeah,
that in the sense of the word sinister. I'm talking about the movie Sinister.
yeah,
Like again, Scott Derrickson joints.
yeah.
Honestly, we were talking about doing a counter from the South Park episode. We should do a Scott Derrickson counter on here for how many times we say Scott Derrickson. But yeah, man. I mean, Ethan Hawke, like he does no wrong in my eyes. Especially like just I don't know if you've ever watched his interviews.
Some of them.
Yeah, when he talks about like the craft of acting, of
Yeah, you
directing.
can tell he has a passion for it.
Yeah,
Like he doesn't chase the franchise or the big blockbuster, right? He does a lot of smaller, I don't want to say lower budget, but generally like lower budget type
more
type
independent
fare.
driven.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I will say, and again, something we'll talk about on another video. I really enjoyed his villain, Arthur Harrow
Yeah.
on Moon Knight. Right, it was Arthur Harrow.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, like I enjoy like the opening scene, dude, to Moon Knight. Like set the tone when you just hear the crunching and the glass and stuff like that, and then you realize what he's doing. And then it's like, oh, okay. And just like that, that zealot, just freaking,
Yeah.
Heaven's Gate style, just cult leader thing that he had going on. Like, I think it was really good. And, I like seeing him in those roles because, I mean, I'm a big Ethan Hawke fan. Going back to Gattaca, Dead Poet Society, I finally got around to watching in its entirety because I used to see like bits and pieces of it as a kid growing up, but I never actually sat down and watched it. But I finally sat down and watched Great Expectations, um, with him and Gwyneth Paltrow. The soundtrack is awesome, dude. Super '90s soundtrack. Tori Amos' song "Siren," freaking love it. Um, but yeah, he's really good in that movie. Like '90s, it's so crazy seeing him through the decades. When you see like '90s Ethan Hawke, then you see 2000s, 2010s, and now we're here. A sequel, Black Phone 2.
Yep.
So it's always just cool. It's always been cool to see the trajectory. I still haven't seen Boyhood.
I haven't seen that one either.
And that was one that I was like, I'll get around to it eventually, but I feel like now's around the time where I want to pull the trigger on it. You know what it's about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which I thought that was a really cool concept for a movie.
Yeah.
It's like shoot it in different time periods and then just connect
Difficult
it
to pull
together.
off, yeah.
Dude, for real. But hey, a really good team behind it. But yeah, as far as this one goes, I mean, I'm excited for it. I mean, it's a horror movie. Like I said, Ethan Hawke, Scott Derrickson,
Scott Derrickson.
Scott Derrickson. So yeah, aside from that, I don't really have much more to say about this one. What about you?
No, I mean I think we said Scott Derrickson enough to cover a good portion of this video, but I mean, trailer looks really good. I really love the first one, so if everyone's involved in this one, I'm sure it's going to be a home run.
Oh yeah, and Blumhouse coming back too, and they sort of need a hit too, especially after what happened with The Exorcist. 'Cause, which, speaking of super off topic, they delayed that one too,
Yeah.
the Mike Flanagan one. But hey, more time for him to focus on Carrie, which I definitely want to talk about that in another video as well.
Isn't he also
But
doing like Dark Tower?
the never-ending
Yeah.
production of Dark Tower that I don't think we'll ever get a faithful adaptation, because I don't know if
No.
people consider the one we got faithful
God no.
enough. But alas, all good
Yeah.
things must come to an end. Thank y'all so much for watching. Greatly, greatly appreciated as always. And like Robert always says, get down in the comments. We want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on Scott Derrickson? Scott Derrickson is Scott Derrickson. Because Scott
Yes.
Derrickson is Scott Derrickson.
What's your favorite Scott Derrickson movie?
Do you have a favorite Scott Derrickson movie? Scott Derrickson? Question mark. But yeah, Robert, do you want to let them know about the other projects we have going on the channel?
Yeah. So far, nothing from Scott Derrickson, but judging or whenever this, by the time this video goes live, maybe we'll have our second Superman video up on our rank series. We just finished our Mission Impossible rank series, so we decided, for the upcoming Superman James Gunn release, we're going to go back and do all of the 6 live action Superman movies. That does not include like team up movies like Justice League. It's just straight Superman 2, 3, 4, Returns, and then Man of Steel. We also have a bunch of other trailer reactions such as this. This is the only Scott Derrickson one we have so far. Just shoehorning the name in there. And we have the aforementioned Mission Impossible ranked and rewatch series. But yeah, so feel free to check it all out.
Awesome. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate you as always. Scott Derrickson, we appreciate you too. Catch you on the next one. Scott Derrickson.